Okay. This is not really my lane, but I'm gonna bring it up because it just really grinds my gears. So, you guys remember this scene from The Sopranos?
Yeah, that's cute. Who the fuck is Eckel?
Eckley. Let's talk about something else.
No, you open this clam, my friend.
So remember that scene, right? And let me just start off by saying Sopranos, one of the greatest shows ever on TV. It's in my top five. Great, 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 great show. It's a look at psychology in a way that I think we can all appreciate. It's a look at family dynamics, and of course, mob stuff. It's always a hit. I did not like the fact that Tony didn't know and didn't understand his uncle's name, Ercole, right? Okay, so let me paint the picture. So Tony Soprano's father, Johnny Boy, and Corrado, these guys are in the New Jersey Mafia. They had a brother that was mentally challenged. It seems is the way he's presenting it, named Ercole. Back in those times, and I think it's actually quite familiar to a lot of us that come from families from this type of culture. They didn't have the type of facilities and the type of things for people like that, especially for the fact that the grandparents were immigrants. I've seen it a lot, even not necessarily in my own family, but I've seen it in other families that I grew up around where they have an uncle, right, that lives with grandma. Remember the scene from Soul Food?
There's Big Mama's brother, old Uncle Pete, who ain't left his room in something like 10 years now.
The uncle that kind of like he never came out of his room. There's a lot of families like that because back in the old days, there wasn't the proper facilities to keep people that had mental issues or different social anxieties or whatever the case. Corrado is telling him that I had this brother that we put him in a facility and we funded and took care of him, and his name was Ercole. And Tony's like, Eckel? Who is Eckel? Who is Eckel? This is like such a nitpick, but to me, it's just like when a show gives you so much quality acting, when it gives you such attention to detail, damn it, you got to get everything right. And why would Tony not catch what his uncle's name is? I get it if he doesn't know who he is, but the name Ercole, it's like he'd never heard it before. And you're saying to myself, well, maybe he never heard it before. The head of the DeMeo crime family, which is the Soprano crime family, is Ercole DeMeo. Ercole DeMeo. Ercole Soprano. Go to Wikipedia. Even the nickname, Eckley. They've got Eckley DeMeo, they've got Eckley Soprano. Ercole is a name that he would know. He wouldn't be like, what's an Eckel? What's an Eckel? He wouldn't have said that. Which is, I mean, in a sense, I guess they played it because Corrado seemed annoyed that he didn't know it. But he seemed annoyed from a generational and cultural standpoint. Like Ercole, like, you don't know Italian? Like, that was the vibe that I was getting. Like, hey, it means Hercule. Like, you're a dumb young kid that doesn't know things. But I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, I know what he's saying. Because the head of the family, who's been in prison since 1995, therefore he was just kind of like a figurehead, right? Jackie Aprile was the head of the family because Ercole DeMeo was in prison. And then, of course, Corrado took over, and then Tony was the kind of the boss to the side, right? But it just, really grinds my gears that Tony was confused at a name that he would have been familiar with since he was a kid. As we saw in many states of Newark. Ercole DeMeo shows up at one of the funerals or something like that. He would have been familiar with this word. He would have been familiar with this name. It wouldn't have been confusing. And I don't know. I get it. I'm nitpicking. And this isn't really my lane. So, somebody like Cineranter or Sopranos theories. I mean, it's probably like in their lane. And they probably have this brilliant explanation for it. I'm not pretending I do. I'm just eating spaghetti, drinking beer. And I said, you know what? This pisses me off. So, enjoy. Like, subscribe. Add some comments. And salutamos.